the Newport Board of Education special meeting. May I have a roll call, please? Here. 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 If you all will join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Now we have a moment of reflection, and I ask you all to keep Tony Hall and the Hall family in your thoughts. He is a Newport High School graduate, very, I think, multiple members of their family graduated from Newport High School, and he is very ill, very ill. Just keep him and his family in your thoughts. Right. First on the agenda is a financial update. The SNAP.
Yes.
And Mr. Turner is joining her.
Yeah, I just. Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Atman. Tonight, Ken Snap and I will give the board a financial review of the past year ending June 30, fiscal year 2025, and then we will update the board on the current budget status for fiscal year 2026. Discussions that we had tonight will concentrate on Fund 1, because that's the general fund, the most important fund. And just as a note, all funds were in balance when the SNAP filed the annual financial report. So our concentration tonight will be how much money does it have left at the end of 25, and what kind of money are we bidding 26. So to begin, you have a packet, and we want to start with this fiscal year 25. That's page 1, the top page. To start, we adjusted the beginning balance in 2025 to reflect the ending balance of 2024. We felt, obviously, from the county standpoint, what you end one year with is what you begin a second year. The primary effect of that was increasing the starting balance from the budget by $1,373,221. So that gave us a beginning balance to start 2025 of $4,436,533. That ties directly back to the audited financial statements by Paul Maxwell and accepted by Kentucky Department of Education. The next item we need to note is that there was an increase over the budget in the revenue column in 2025 by $836,032. So when we look at the revision to the beginning balance and we look at the increases in revenue over budget, we get a total revenue of $20,989,930. That number ties directly to the financial report filed on July 25th. It shows the difference between the beginning or the original budget of $2.2 million. So in plain terms, we adjusted the beginning balance, we added the additional revenue, and the result was our cash available to spend was $20,989,000, or $2.2 million more than budget. The final expenses in 2025 were $18,435,853. That number also ties directly back to the annual financial report filed in July. That was a slight increase of about $124,000 over the budget number, but several reasons led to that. And when we're looking at the size of the budget, that's not a significant increase. So moving on, both the original budget and the final shows a committed sick leave account of $535,353. We started the year with that. We ended the year with that. Part of the reason for the increase in expense was that there was not a liability account set up for retirees. We had the money, but it wasn't noted as an expense account. So it was just a matter of some housekeeping. So the main number that we need to consider in the annual financial report is the fund balance. That designates what you're going to start next year with. How did you do this previous year? And the state of Kentucky does demand that all school districts maintain a minimum balance of 2% of specific revenues. So our balances total $3,449,512. That number again ties right back to our annual financial report. And that number is made up of two specific items. Number one was the continuation of the sick leave account. And number two is uncommitted money that you got to operate the district the way you see fit. Also, there was some adjustments after the AFR was signed. These are cash equivalents that come to the board after the books are closed for June 30th. They're tied every year that I've ever been involved. There's always been money that came in late. And also, we've got a Fund 1 expense where an account was charged $158,854 out of the general fund. And the cost of that item we found was able to be transferred to a Fund 2 account. So the transfer will be made for the audit. And also, we still have some taxes arriving from the city based on last year. So those taxes will also be counted as income. So that brings us to a total projected balance for the year ended June 30, 2025 of $3,658,366. We have reviewed these numbers, I would say, a minimum of 20 times. Dr. Paul Maddox, the state of Kentucky Department of Education were involved. We contacted Jennifer Hoover on several occasions. Obviously, Ken Snap, Ken Boston, Tony Watts, Matt Ackman, and I believe every supervisor in the district we discussed with. So we feel very strong about the numbers. And this last note is the budget, your budget for 2025 projected a fund balance of $468,000, and then naturally the sick leave bank, which gave you a projected budget of $1,390,000. So if we contrast that with our projected estimate, and again, these are what we would call extremely hard numbers, would be $3,658,366. So that brings you up to date on where we are, where we closed 2025, and I believe very, very close to the auditor coming in to verify numbers. At that said, in 2025, the SNAP is going to take over and walk you through the budget of 2026.
Chair, members of the board,
You have a second sheet in front of you, and that second sheet outlines the current status of the fiscal year 26. As Mr. Turner discussed, we are starting with a strong beginning balance, $3,658,366. Our projected revenues for fiscal year 26 are now $1,210,000 or $831,000 higher than initially anticipated. We carefully reviewed all revenue estimates to ensure that they are as accurate as possible. Our total revenues are now projected to be $4,419,197 above the draft budget. On the expense side, fiscal year 26 has projected expenses about $19,189,418. After you subtract the budget contingency of $871,416 and an estimated $250,000 in unused retiree sick pay, expenses are projected to be approximately $350,000 below the original draft budget of $18,350,927. This results in very positive shift. The draft budget projected a negative ending balance of negative $3,511,537. We now project an ending balance for fiscal year 26 to be $1,190,585. While staffing costs are built into the budget, we do anticipate additional savings as staffing is finalized. But overall, we believe our financial position is strong, and our projections are conservative and reliable. We've taken a careful, honest look at the numbers. What we're sharing tonight isn't overly optimistic. It's grounded, it's realistic, and it's backed by the data. The improvement in our financial position puts us on stronger ground. And that stability gives us the flexibility to stay focused on what matters most. All figures represented, they represent cash balances. If the board chooses to establish a reserve in the future, we will be prepared to support that decision. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, and Ms. Snapper for this financial report. Any questions? Public, each board member has met with the finance team to get our questions answered and to get a clear understanding of how we got where we are. And I do want to point out, when you look at our projected revenue and what we can expect this year and what we got last year, there is a difference. What you said. And so we need to be mindful that in addition to the cost of living going up, revenue is going down. The education fund title has been impacted, and now we've heard the school meals. I'm not sure how this is going to impact us, but it's all over the news about federal funding impacting school meals. So we have to be watchful and mindful, and the message here from the board has been that, as well as I understand the superintendent is meeting with his team, and they're also making sure that everyone knows our priority is student achievement and supporting our teachers. We also have to be smart about how we spend the money this year. Right, Mr. Watts, Mr. Atkins, you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, we talked about it. We're being very intentional, obviously, with all of our expenditures, a lot of collaboration with all of our funds, title funds, general funds, and still we have to look with that for students, but also very mindful of our spend.
And another thing we're doing is seeking other resources. There are a lot of funds out there through grants, and so that's the conversation we're also having. We have the grant writer for years, And so we just need to get back to supporting our teachers, and our students through a lot of grant funds. And the Newport Education Foundation is also aligned with that, and we're working on a way that we can support the schools through grant applications. So, we thank you for your hard work and commitment. I know it's been a long journey. You all have been working on these figures for almost a year, just to make sure the numbers are right and solid and can be verified by data. So we appreciate any other.
Yeah, I was going to ask one question. On the projection for the 2026 property tax, how do we estimate? It's
Are you talking about on the?
on the 2026.
It's just based on like the current property taxes and the. What you're asking?
Yeah, it's a compensating rate basically brought forward. Is that
Yes.
The only thing I would like to add is that you guys have done a remarkable job, getting all of this together for us. So thank you very much for all of your hard work and dedication. And, continuing to look for ways that we can save money in this fund by using other grant monies, other monies. So I commend you with all that.
Yes.
guys, but only for me would be finals.
I said,
Yes. Right, good information. This helps us be more mindful of our responsibility, our physical responsibility, as well as our fiduciary responsibility when it comes to the position we hold. So thank you very much for the time and effort. So we are not taking any action on this item. That simply was for information only, because I believe last week we actually took action on the financial report that was sent to KDP. So thank you for concrete numbers. They get better with each report, so thank you that you all have worked. And some of the things that, just to be transparent, what helped us out was that some positions were able to move, as Ms. Sutton pointed out, to supplemented by federal funds. And that relieves some of the burden on the general fund where we were having challenges. So being able to have that opportunity to take advantage of some funds that we had, in other grants and things like that, really strengthened our financial position in the general fund. All right.
Remember back when we started all this, they gave us a list of things to look at. Could be part.
Yes.
I would say maybe we look at those in the future, there may be some other things there. I know we major changes about this, but they give us a list. Well, for the future.
yeah, I agree with that.
All right, the next on the agenda is the minimum of understanding with Southgate Schools. Mr. Atkins, are you prepared to talk about this, or is there someone from the staff?
Yeah, I can. So, I know for sure last year, but we've had a memorandum of understanding with Southgate where we provide education for a couple of their students, and in agreement, they provide us with funds, and then a memorandum of understanding, there's funds that we get for a middle school student, and then there's more for a high school student, it's an additional $5,000. And that's just an agreement between us and Southgate that we have to provide services for those students in our district. Did look back at the previous MOU, the language did not change this year compared to last year. The only difference is that the high school student, there's an additional $5,000 to make sure that we're able to provide all the services and needs to us.
We had talked, and said, it's not, we're not going to be putting more money out than we're getting in. It's not cost us.
We're not going to need to hire an additional teacher or for really any teacher at all in order to be able to provide services. We also have a really good relationship with South, and also Mr. Greg, the new superintendent there, so it's just a good relationship for us.
Good, good. That's a conversation that's happening in the community more often. Challenges, more districts are looking to share services because when you read the news, we're not the only district that's facing these challenges with providing the services that our students need. So this is a good thing, and we had a joint meeting with Covington to also discuss things that we can do to share to help each other, and that was very successful. So thank you. Okay, so any questions regarding this memo of understanding? Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with the memo of understanding, but now how many students do we get a year?
I would take a look, well, under the MOU, these are the only two that I'm aware of. But then in Southgate, that's not a high school, I would look at the number of students in all.
So this does take care of the high school students.
No, this is taking care of any particular students that are coming to us under this MOU.
These are special circumstances. The other students who come to our school under the open doors. They can go to Gamble County, or because they don't have high school, they have the option to choose which school. Some of them do not. Well, I need a motion to approve the memo of understanding with Southgate Schools. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Next, Mr. Atkins is emergency certificate for Newport high school science position.
Can you talk about that at all?
We have a science teacher certified for middle school, teaching at the high school, and we need for him to teach one high school science class. But he has to get an emergency certificate to be able to teach that one. And it could be one.
Any questions regarding that? It's that we have a science teacher. All right. And then, the next item, this is separate, we're going to vote on it separately. So I need a motion to approve the emergency certification for the Newport High School science position.
So moved.
It's been moved and second. All in favor? Aye. All right. Next is, hire clerk in special ed department. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I'll start in a minute. So this particular position will help identify the Medicaid reimbursement for students with IEPs and for services. And, Kim or Julie, if you guys want to. Is that good?
Right, when the previous person filled this position, the new person was, placed with somebody on staff. Which I know. That one person should be able to share the departments to do all the work.
Do they have to have any special qualifications or anything to be able to do this?
It
Understanding
is,
of everything.
it's a matter of starting the program. Special ed, like 50 minutes, how many minutes students will be there, there's a lot of.
Just more detail about the compensation. Yes. Well, I do know that the person who's doing it full-time retired, correct? And so, that wasn't the only thing she was doing, but that was a big part of her duties, and, we provide a lot of services to our special ed population. And the good news is a lot of those services are reimbursed through Medicaid. So we, positions and things that are servicing the department, reimbursement, we definitely want to take advantage of this. And so, any questions or, so I need a motion to approve this, contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Um,
Very good, very good.
Give them as much power as possible.
I'm sure the special ed department wants that money back, and they keep the staff that they have. Thank you. All right, all right. I think that's it. Any more comments or concerns? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Um,
Very good.